always keep looking out for inspiration, or does it just hit you from out of nowhere?
Absolutely, every day.
Every day?
Every day. I need inspiration every day.
Okay.
Or I would say I search for it, more than need. I search for it, and I feel that it's so important, not only as a writer, firstly as a human being, to have a fruitful existence. I think it's very important to be inspired. Secondly, as an artist, be it a writer, be it an actor, anyone in the creative field, I think you just wither and die if there's no inspiration. So, and it can come from any quarter. It doesn't have to be a particular story, or it doesn't have to be fiction, it doesn't have to be art. I get inspired by people that I meet every day, be it my help, be it their children, be it somebody I saw on TV. It's just, the universe is open. It's just what you connect with and what inspires you.
You're almost like a mind reader, man. You meet somebody and you're trying to figure out what is their backstory.
I wish I was a mind reader. I wish I was a mind reader. Prakash won't like that, but I wish I was a mind reader.
You're not?
I'd love to. I don't think so.
But you're trying to concoct a story, right? Like, you just met a person and you're wondering, where does this person come from?
If I tell you the stories that I make in my head about a person I meet, people will stop meeting me. Number one. Number two, yes, I do have the tendency to, if I'm meeting someone for the first time, suddenly there'll be a bubble on the top of my head.
That's what I'm saying.
And I want to, put the story around that person, that, oh, what do they do, where do they come from, personal life, suddenly the universe has to build.
And then you zone
And
up.
sometimes it just pops, sometimes I'm so wrong and so many faux pas, and sometimes, I'm really right too. So, but it's a very, I'm totally sounding like a lunatic here. But I guess lots of us do that, don't we? Yeah. But I guess, as a writer, your brain is so conditioned to anything interesting that you find about any person. You want to just, apart from being liars, we're also grabbers, I think, writers, I'm sure the writing fraternity is not going to be very happy.
But I feel things from people.
I think we steal quietly, we steal emotions, we steal expressions, we steal their, dreams, and we are liars, cheaters and stealers. But I think towards a good end.
Yeah.
Because, we do all this to make a believable world, to give something beautiful back to our readers. Hope, inspiration, faith, whatever it is.
Right. Earlier in the interview, I was going to ask you a question which we stopped at.
You still remember that interview?
Yes.
That interview question after so much of my rambling?
It almost feels like reading a book, stream of consciousness. And it's interesting, trust me on that.
So, feels like reading a book, like while I'm talking, you're saying? Oh, lovely, thank you. I should smile at that. Okay.
The question was, the process of writing must have been a process of self-discovery for you. So, while writing this Dance of Durga, what is it that you've understood about yourself, about your own personality?
That's a good question. And I hoped nobody would ask me that, now that you have asked. There was a point in the story, in fact, I think I mentioned it before also, that, I reached halfway where Rajjo had become Durga.
Okay.
And the scale at which she was living her life, the scale of emotions, the scale of drama had come to a zenith. She had everything that she wanted. And then I didn't know, it had gone into almost a surreal existence. And then I had to make this person real again. And I had to take her through very extreme incidents and extreme emotions to kind of bring her back in. And while I was putting Rajjo, who was Durga now, through these extremities, I realized that, when I have a perception of me as a person, if you were to ask me, Kanika, what would you do if this would happen? And I would say that, I think this is what I'm going to do. I realized that, next time if somebody asks me, I'm never going to answer that, because you really don't know who you really are till you go through that particular emotion or that extreme situation. Right. And I feel that we all think we know ourselves, but I think this entire journey is about getting to know your own self, because there is because you cannot really I don't think people outside are unpredictable. I think you're within yourself, you're the most unpredictable entity that you will ever know. Because mostly when we live our lives, secure, happy lives, we are not pushed into extreme corners. We are not pushed into situations that we have no control over, which are scary. So thankfully, thankfully we are not pushed into those corners. But while writing this novel, I thought and I deliberated on times when, what if I was pushed in those corners? Would I react the way I think I will, or would I emerge as a different person altogether? And I really didn't have any clear answer, which was very scary, disturbing. At the same time, that is the whole point, right?
No, I'm sure a lot of aspiring writers would want to know this, right? Now, you published your third book now. I understand that. I hope that you've figured out what is it takes to write a book now, right? A lot of people...
I'm still figuring it out.
Seriously?
Somebody asked me, so when was it that you knew that the book was ready?
Oh.
I said, till I got 5th threatening call from my publisher saying, let that book go, else it's not coming out. That book was not ready for me.
Okay.
So,
what is it that you're looking for when you say it's not ready?
We as writers are all very insecure people.
Oh, you're gonna always think whether people like it or not?
No, I'll tell you, what it is. I won't say for all writers. I feel that as a writer, when the day I'm supposed to hand in my deadline, that the novel or be a film script or whatever, I get extremely insecure.
Yeah.
And I just feel everything is not working, it's crap. And that is the pessimistic me. And then eventually the threatening call or my publisher saying not so nice things and saying that we are not going to go ahead with it if you're not going to give us the book. Like with Durga, I missed around 6 deadlines.
Okay.
6 deadlines, and I thought they were going to drop me. And they're going to
never... Is that a lot? 6?
That's a lot.
Okay.
I usually don't miss deadlines.
Okay.
And I missed 6 on this one. And they were very patient with me, thank you. But it took a while for me to let go of the novel. But I think that that's the thing where you say that, okay, it's done. Now it's done, my work is done. You can never say that because you can always better it. Yeah. Because now when I read the book, I'll say, oh, I should have, this could have been better, this could have been better, that could have been better. So I think you never know when the story is really done.
Now, as an aspiring writer myself, I'm curious to know, right? Do stories write themselves, or is it you trying to figure out how do you take that story from point A to point B to come to its logical ending?
That's a very good question again. In my experience, I've had both. Okay. When the character becomes very strong, like first half of Durga, I felt I created those. I was in control.